All right, we've got the Arrma Typhon TLR here on the table. And yeah, I know this is a vehicle that I have not shown before, but it is a vehicle that I have greatly enjoyed, and it's time to say farewell. Aloha, and welcome back to 9th Island RC. As I said, this is a vehicle that I haven't shown before, but it has been greatly enjoyed. If you look at it, you can tell it's pretty dirty and dusty, and it's got a little bit of beat upness on it. And if you look at the bottom, you can see that it's pretty well scraped up. Although what you might not be able to notice, maybe you can see some reflection there, is I actually have clear protective vinyl on it, so to protect the chassis as much as possible. But, as I said in that quick opener, it is time to bid farewell to this. Now, something that I have not done a lot of in the past, and I'm hoping to change that in the future, is running videos. Mostly this channel has been more of a how-to do this, how to do that. And so I'd like to add some running stuff, although I will not show my speed runs because I'm not attempting to break any records with those vehicles. I'm just doing it for my own personal enjoyment and to see what I can achieve. But as for this vehicle, I do want to do something that I have never done with it before, and that is I'm going to take it to the track. An outdoor dirt track, that is. So let's see what happened. Okay, so we've got this out here on the track, and as I said earlier, this vehicle has actually never been on a track, so I'm not going to be too good with it. It's also been a good 5 years since I've been on any track. That was an indoor carpet track. This is a outdoor dirt track, totally different surface. So I'll be honest, I'm not going to really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to just go ahead and give it a try and see how it does. Yeah, first jump not too bad. This one I am not going to attempt right now. I know that one is not going to be easy. Same with this one. Just gonna take it nice and easy around that. I just wanted to take it out onto the track just to see what it could do. And yeah, hold that thought. Not too bad on that one, and then thank you. Like I said, it's been 5 years since I've been on any track, and I've never driven on a dirt track before. When I was racing, for one, I was racing 1/10 scale, not 1/8. It was also on an indoor carpet track, not a dirt track. But gotta admit, this is kind of fun. I mean, let's see if I can do this one. Alrighty, got it. Let's see if I can do the next one. Oh, no, good one. Still not gonna try that one. But hey, it's not too bad. I still honestly don't know if the TLR can, the Typhon TLR Edition can actually do true competitive racing, but this one is not going to get that chance. As I said earlier, I bought this one for the purpose of street bashing with the eventual plan of converting it into a speedrun vehicle. So to answer what I said earlier, I said that I'm saying goodbye, or bye-bye to the Typhon TLR. So does that mean that I'm actually getting rid of this? No. As I just said, my plan is to convert it into a speed run. So the only part that's going bye-bye is some of the Typhon parts. Let's go for it. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. And nope. Well, there you have it. So, tell you what. So we're just going to take this back on inside, back to the workstation, and I will show you the round of parts that I've got set up for the first stage of the conversion. Alrighty, so yeah, didn't end well, and it actually ended a little bit worse than what I showed, in case you can't tell. Basically, the shock, as you can see here, literally the standoff snapped right at the nut. So that is an upgrade that I was not originally planning on, but you know, I'm going to upgrade those to the titanium standoffs from Scorched Parts in the UK. But that's not the real purpose of this video. The real purpose is the fact that, as I said, farewell to the TLR, but as I mentioned in the running portion of it, I'm not selling it, I'm not getting rid of it, I am converting it. Basically, what's going to be going bye-bye is the majority of the TLR specific parts, specifically the chassis and the shock towers. I will continue to run the TLR shocks because these things are fantastic. Gonna probably stick with the body, at least for now. Rear wing, haven't decided, but a lot of the other stuff is gonna get switched over, and we'll have to see what happens with that. I'm still working on, or I should say I'm still waiting on some of the parts, but for the most part, you know, I do have a lot of the parts that are going to be swapped, be swapped out and in and so forth. But before I do, I did want to show something that I was not even aware that happened when I was running this. After running it, I packed it up. Obviously, I knew about the broken shock, or should I say the standoff. But something that I didn't know, and honestly, I don't know how this happened, is if you look, you're going to notice wires all over the place. And as you can see, the fan. And here's the other part of it. I don't really know what happened with this. It should be easily repairable, at least most of it. I'm not sure where the second wire is on the ESC. If I have to power it off of the receiver, I will. But at least the fan part, that I can repair when I move the heatsink and fans over. But yeah, when I took the body off, this piece just fell out. And initially when I looked at it, it didn't dawn on me what it was. It wasn't until I took the body off to remove the battery, and that's when all of a sudden I discovered all these wires. So yeah, that's going to be a little extra fix, but not too difficult to deal with. So what exactly is changing, and what parts do I have? Now, let me clear this off the table and go get the other parts, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we got that cleared off the table. So what is going to be changed? Well, first and foremost, obviously, the TLR chassis, and that will be replaced with the EXB chassis. Now, I know some people have told me that the V5, the standard V5 chassis is better than this. That's okay. I had actually already bought this before anyone started telling me that, so I'm just going to stick with this, at least for now. As I mentioned, the Typhon will eventually become a full-time speedrun vehicle, but I'm going to do this in several phases. Eventually, this chassis will be replaced by a carbon fiber chassis. But for now, the vehicle is going to be, combination of bashing and speedrun. I'm going to start with low speed, just working up. So we got that. We're also going to switch over the motor mount. So we've got the EXB motor mount, front and rear pieces. Also going to got the EXB servo mount. Got the, well, technically that's the motor mount piece right there, but motor mount, the center diff. And then electronics. So We're gonna just throw them around. Just kidding. Let me throw these out of the way. So we've got a Castle Cobra 8 ESC that's gonna replace the stock ESC, and for now at least, we've got a rocket motor, and this is an uncensored motor. Uncensored, non-censored, however you want to call it. Makes no difference to me. Still the same thing. But at least for now, that is what I'll be running. The Cobra 8 does run, both censored and non-censored motors, so it should have no problem with that. And then, of course, we've got the shock towers. Throw this out of the way. And again, the EXB shock towers front and rear. So that's the first set of parts. Let me clear this away and show you what the next set is. Okay, next up we've got the rear uprights, front steering knuckles, and also the motor bearing cover, whatever you want to call it, all from Trio. And of course, since the hinge pins are going to need to be replaced, we've got 2 sets of the lower hinge pins. Also got a set of the upper front hinge pins. And then we've also got the EXB front and rear chassis braces. So let's clear this away and find what else there is. Okay, round 3. We've got 3 sets of the metal, the 7075 aluminum EXB, or EXB-like, whatever, gift cups. We've got the machine top plate, also from Trio. From Power Hobby, I've got 2 of the aluminum bulkhead bearing holders, covers, whatever you want to call that. And then from a company called Cobra Racing, I've got the aluminum, I apologize, I'm drawing a blank right now. My work hours have been insane lately, but you know what parts I'm talking about. The pin holders for upper and lower, front and rear, all of that. My brain is a little bit on overtime right now. So we got all that. And then let's get the next grouping in. And lastly, we've got some of the case gaskets from Basher Queen. Anybody remembers that name before M2C Racing bought it, incorporated it into their products, and then basically killed it off? A lot of people are not happy about that, but I was able to find some of the original Basher Queen gaskets. Essentially, these are the same as the ones that M2C is selling, except that they're charging double the price. But I got these, and for the future, I've actually found something better. They are on order, so they haven't arrived yet. But we've got those. Also got a carbon fiber battery tray. Even has the Arrma logo on it. From another company that's going by the name Morfum. I don't know what that means. MORFUM. Got the carbon fiber ESC tray. And if anyone's not sure what that is carbon fiber and aluminum rear wing mount. So that ought to be interesting. So, basically there you got it. That is all of the upgrade parts that I have received so far. I'm not going to do it all in one fell swoop. I'm going to do it in my usual phases, but as for how I'm going to start, I have not decided. Obviously, it will be the chassis and the shock towers, anything related to that, as well as the motor mount. Possibly the probably the ESC tray and the battery tray. This I might hold off on, and then go from there. So there you have it. That is essentially what the farewell to the Typhon TLR, as it is going to become a Typhon EXB. Alright, I got a quick little add-on before finishing this video. Literally, just as I was finishing up the editing, I got a delivered notification. So, went to my mailbox, and those standoffs that I was mentioning got delivered. And so, as you can see, this is not a one-piece design, as the stock ones are. The one-piece designs, if they break, you gotta replace the whole thing. With a two-piece design, uses a through bolt. Basically, if the bolt bends, if it breaks, whatever, you just got to replace that. A lot easier. Now, obviously, this comes with a drill bit, and that is because these are M4, not M3. So the holes on the shock towers will have to be enlarged for the standoffs. The other item that came in today is the outdrives. And, you might notice something a little different. You see there's a grub screw there. And that is because the scorched parts hub drives for the 6S Arrma vehicles is a two-piece design. And it actually has grubs on both sides. What this is I believe there's a flat point on each side a little bit. I haven't taken it out. But the reason for this design, and it is stronger, but it allows you to change the outdrive cups without having to disassemble the differentials. Everybody knows that the slots do eventually wear out. The pins cause them to get wider, and they do have to be replaced. Well, with this, replacing them is a lot easier. You simply remove the two grub screws, slide off the damaged part that needs to be replaced, slide on the replacement piece, apply Loctite to the grubs, reinstall it, and you are good to go. Now for these, I will probably use orange thread locker. For those who aren't familiar with it, again, I've mentioned it in other videos. It is a thread locker that has a holding strength that is almost equal to red, but it has a release strength only slightly higher than blue. So, there's today's delivery. Got some of the last parts that I was waiting for. Next video on this will cover at least the first part of that conversion. Well, until next time, mahalo.